Have you ever noticed that one person who just walked into a room and lit it up? That person who is just not shy, not afraid to speak up, and who gets ahead, not necessarily because they have more ability than you do, but because they're not afraid to take on challenges and they exude the confidence that wins attention. Have you ever wondered how they became that confident? Or better yet, how you can become a confident person? Certain experiences in life or failures may have shattered your confidence, but not to worry. If it can be shattered, it can be rebuilt. In this video, we will consider 6 things you can do to build your self-confidence and finally realize your full potential. Now, first of all, if you wish to build confidence, you need to get out of your comfort zone and get involved in activities and be around people and do things with people. And yes, some of us are introverts and do not necessarily want to be in crowds all the time. But the more active you are, the more comfortable you will be when you have to be around people. You may find that when you push yourself and do the thing that you're shy about doing, you will come out of your shell. And the more you do this thing, the more comfortable you will become each time you do it. Let's take public speaking, for example. If you're not very confident, you may shy away from opportunities to speak publicly. But since building confidence requires coming out of your comfort zone, you shouldn't back away from this. So give it a try. If you're not a naturally gifted speaker, prepare well and give it your best. And you will find that the more you practice, the better you will become at doing it and the less scary it will seem to you. Of course, public speaking was just an example. This principle can be applied to other things that you're not so confident about doing. So you need to set goals for yourself and challenge yourself. You may begin by perhaps setting goals that are within your limitations, and not just set goals, but put a plan in place as to how you will accomplish this and follow through on the steps of this plan. Because a failure to complete things will leave you feeling as though you're a failure, and this will further damage your confidence. After accomplishing this goal, your confidence will be boosted. So next, you can set goals that will challenge your limitations, and as said before, do things that will take you out of your comfort zone. And with each level and each challenge that you overcome, your confidence will grow. Another way to build self-confidence is to not base your confidence solely on your physical appearance. Now, don't get me wrong, carrying oneself well is important, and we'll speak some more about this shortly. But what I mean here is that whether you are what is considered conventionally attractive or not, it is important for you to identify your other strengths and build up your skills and knowledge. When you are a person of substance who can make valuable contribution, then your value as a person will not solely be based on your appearance. I mean, in this day and age when we strive to be so much more than just another good-looking face in the crowd, we need to continually work on our other skills as much as we work on our appearance. And it is also important to work on developing personality traits that make people comfortable around you. You do not want to be somebody who's very attractive, but once people get to know you, they're running for the hills because your personality is so awful. Because remember, physical appearance may change, but the value and contribution you make is what will remain and will have a more profound impact on people, and this will make you feel good about yourself. If you wish to build self-confidence, it is also important that you figure out what you're good at and build on that. And yes, I know this may sound like a slight contradiction to point number 1, but what I mean here is that sometimes our confidence is shattered and we feel incapable because we're trying to fit into someone else's mold and we're trying to do what everybody else is doing, when in actuality, your skills and your strengths may lay elsewhere. For example, imagine Picasso trying to be a surgeon. Maybe he would have failed miserably at it, while his gift is that he's a genius at painting. I could be wrong, but I really doubt that there's any one person who's good at everything. So the important thing is to figure out what you do well and focus your energies there instead of trying to fit in or trying to do something because everybody else is doing it. As I said before, certain experiences in life may have shattered your confidence, and if you're trying to rebuild yourself, then you need to eliminate negativity from your space. For example, it is important to focus on the things you have accomplished instead of what you failed at. And do not focus too much on what others think of you or say about you. Remember, people will always have their opinion about you, but no one can know you better than you know yourself. Remember also, sometimes people will try to put you down because they see something very special within you and they're intimidated by it, and unfortunately, they wish to extinguish your light. And the whole time you're being hard on yourself while others see the light within you. So do not allow anyone's negative opinion of you to be your perception of yourself. Now, constructive criticism, that is fine, because we are imperfect. And sometimes we do need people who care about us to have a talk with us, to keep us in check and lay out some areas in which we may need to make some changes. So that is fine. But the important thing is to be able to differentiate constructive criticism from criticism that is meant to put you down and to destroy your confidence. Another way to build your confidence is by always making sure you carry yourself well. This does not necessarily mean that you have to be the most beautiful person in the room, nor does it mean you have to be wearing the most expensive things, because a person's self-worth should not be measured by the cost of their clothing. What it means is that you should always try to be the healthiest and best version of yourself. So, begin by working out and eating as clean as you possibly can, trying to keep your body healthy and in shape. Always take care of basic personal care: hair, nails, skin, teeth, and personal hygiene, so you always look your best and you always smell good. That way you can move among people with confidence. These things may seem small, but when you take care of these basic personal things, it sets the foundation for feeling good about yourself and for doing other things that make you feel good. And even if you're not what is considered conventionally attractive, people will always respect you if you carry yourself well and always smell good. As I mentioned repeatedly, one's confidence may have been shattered by past trauma, perhaps verbal or psychological abuse, especially from your childhood, or the way you may have been treated by others, or certain failures in your life may have left you with feelings of worthlessness. In some cases, you may need some extra help to work through your feelings and trauma, and then you can begin to build your confidence. Do not shy away from seeking out such help. Just be very careful not to put your trust in everyone who comes proclaiming to be a self-help guru, and be careful of what methods people want you to try. Now, as I mentioned past trauma, I want to say something briefly to people who are in charge of children. Whether you're a parent, teacher, or anyone who comes in contact with children, you have a responsibility to make sure that you're not destroying the confidence of that child. And that doesn't mean you're going to blindly praise everything the child does. And it doesn't mean you will not correct them when they do wrong, because you want the child to grow up doing the right thing. But you should not be telling the child that they're stupid or putting them down. If you are a parent, it's probably not the best thing to compare your children to each other. For example, by asking, why can't you be more like this one? But recognize the individuality of each one. And there are some teachers who tell people's children that they will never amount to anything. You probably say this out of frustration, but you don't know how that child may be feeling about themselves or what they may be going through outside of school. So choose your words wisely. Some people fail to realize that children are people too. And what happens to them in the formative years can have a lasting impact. For example, if you treat a child with disrespect, not only will they not be confident, but it makes it difficult for them to have self-respect. Remember, we're trying to end generational trauma, so always bear in mind the impact you can have on a child. Now, we're all a work in progress, and we all have something we need to work on continually. The important thing is to do the work. Do whatever you have to do to make sure you build your confidence and feel good about yourself so you can glow up and realize your full potential.